your identity is the architecture that your destiny is expected to be built on. If that architecture is missing or is faulty, there's going to be a problem. And this is why we have cases today of people that are highly regarded falling from one thing or the other. And people that are suffering from depression and having fatigue and mental exhaustion and burnout. Identity has not yet been sorted. Until you have an understanding of who you are, every pursuit you embark on will feel stressed and unanchored. What do I mean by unanchored? You just realize as if you are floating. You are trying to do one thing, as you're trying to do it, it's as if you are floating to the next thing. Your mind is unstable. You are constantly having issues of mental clutter. You are not stable. And then we tell you to fast and pray, and then you are praying, but then your praying is now from anxiety. Your prayer is from anxiety. And then you are more stressed because now you are open to receive spiritual intelligence, and the message are just flowing everywhere. You feel like your head wants to explode. I've counseled people like this. And many times I wonder that this lady is fasting, she's praying, but she's still confused. And I just realized that the key most times is to be still, like shut down everything. Don't open your phone. Don't watch anything. Just go to one secluded part and just sit down there and ask the Lord one important question. Lord, who am I? What do you want me to do? Similar to Paul's question when he encountered Christ. Because if you don't know who you are, every pursuit, every attempt you have to pursue a calling or a vision, it will be stressed. You will undergo serious stress. It's not going to be fluid. It's not going to be from a place of rest. Are we together? And by the grace of God, we're going to call for an end to that in Jesus' name. So moving on. I really want us to get to how identity can be distorted, but I'm going to be giving a few lines just like the one I just gave before. Now, I wrote here that you will think you are chasing your goals, but you are just trying to find yourself. And so because there has been a blueprint written about you, you are trying to find out what you are supposed to do on earth by yourself. But then you realize that as you keep trying to find out what you're supposed to do on earth, all the pursuit is leading you back to what exactly am I here for? Are we together? So then you keep trying to pursue, trying to find out what to do, but then there is the unrest within you, like you don't yet know what exactly is going on with your life. I also wrote here that success will feel empty and satisfaction will just be out of reach. I wrote here that you think what you need is visibility in business or ministry, but you realize how vulnerable you feel when you are finally visible. Because visibility comes with its stress, its cons. So you will think, if I can just blow, let me just blow. By the time you finally blow, you realize how vulnerable and open you are to attacks. That because you have not yet gotten the foundation right, you are then suffering and stressing yourself to remain at that pedestal. Are we together? When you don't know who you are, you will not know what you need. But when you know who you are, you will know that what you need per time and per season is maybe to remain in one place, maybe to learn and understand something. And the truth is, this is why Jesus is just so amazing and God is so merciful. The way he has structured the church, it's almost like ensuring that no matter what happens, these people fulfill at least a glimpse of their destiny. Because many times, and this is why we are better than those in the Bible now, there was no workshop for wisdom, how to be excellent, tips to ensure that you come into your the best version of yourself, so on and so forth. But here, we've had sessions like 700 hours where we treated how to apply wisdom, how to be excellent in business, how to manage wealth, how to relate with kings, so on and so forth. Yes or no? We've had sessions like that. It's as if we're intentionally pushing you so that the parts that you don't by yourself come into, we ensure that it is covered. So the silly thing that people now do is that they don't now take advantage of what they have learned. Or they don't now go back to it. Because many times, or rather, let me just say this, that all the notes that you were taking, they are not necessarily meant for that time. They are meant for your life. Which means in times of seclusion, you're supposed to go back there and read them again. It's not just for you to write and close and keep. They are meant for your life's journey. Because what we are doing here is not play. We are building people here. Blocks upon blocks, precepts upon precepts, understandings upon understandings, so that when you finally attain where God expects you to be at that particular time that has been ordained since, you will not be seen as lacking in anything. You will be seen fortified, able to manage the visibility that comes with your calling. Your assignment is better understood with identity. Why is that? Because your identity is the architecture that your destiny is expected to be built on. If that architecture is missing or is faulty, there is going to be a problem. And this is why we have cases today of people that are highly regarded falling from one thing or the other. And people that are suffering from depression and having fatigue and mental exhaustion and burnout. Identity has not yet been sorted. So we want to ensure that as we are building, we are ensuring that this block is laid. Are we together? I wrote here that culture distorts identity as well. And culture distorts identity through imitation. Imitation. It gives you templates to follow instead of truth to embody and to live by. You know, there was one time that I was taking a walk with my husband, and then he said to me that, do you know that there's a culture where men cut their hands just to show that they love their wives? And so they send their severed hands to their wife. They post it to her. So she'll receive their hands and say, oh, it means he loves me. I said it's a no. I said it's not true. It's not true. I argued till he brought out his phone and I saw it. I wish I could play it here. These men were happy with no hands. I was so confused. They cut their 2 hands and it's part of bride price. Oh, I was saying it's a lie like this till I watched the video. And the woman was standing by her husband, being happy that, he loves me. That he has chosen to ensure that he's dependent on me, so I take him to bathe, I take him out. I could not understand that. I could not understand that. If it was 10, 20 years ago, I'd have said, God, this is ignorant. But today, it's still happening. Now, nobody will question that. Wait, hold on. This thing does not make sense. Nobody will question that. It is what? Culture. It is culture. And according to that culture, if you are a man with 2 able hands, they'll look down on you. They will see you as, you know how it is in those days where whites used to talk bad about blacks, and then they treat them anyhow, and then they sit at the back of the bus, and they are just inferior. That's how a man with 2 able hands is inferior. He has no woman that will hold his elbow. It shocked me. It shocked me. It shocked me. But it really proves what? That culture can distort your identity to the point that you don't see yourself as worthy to have hands. And if you have hands, you literally look down on yourself. God, when will I not have hands? Culture distorts identity through imitation. The fathers before did it, we will do it. Without questioning, without knowing if it is applicable. There are many cultures today that it's not really right, but because it has been done, we'll continue to do it. There are cultures today that literally look down on women, that see them as nothing. That just, in fact, today, we know that see women as not useful for anything other than to give birth. So, you are just a bearer. Be ready to welcome your partner. Maybe 2 years from now, have another wife, so she will also bear children. They see themselves as that. I mean, I went to serve in this northern state. And I taught in a secondary school. And I was asking, and it's secondary school for girls. I was even very happy that they had something like that because I already had a preconceived notion of the state. So it's a school for girls. I was happy. And then I asked them, so what do you want to be? JSS 1. I want to marry you. I want to marry. I was looking at them. Do you want to be a doctor, teacher? I want to have a husband. I was confused. But I didn't blame them because whenever they go home, they'll just tell them that this education is just for them to read and write and to appear good for their husband to be. As at 12, 11, 13, 14, they're already marrying them off. So the education, so I cannot understand why I'll be teaching them 2 plus 2 is 4. Do you understand? They're just looking at me. Because to them, they're not using it for anything. Let me just know how to speak English small. Know how to know that, okay, 2 tubers of yam, 2 tubers of yam, that's 4 tubers of yam. Let me just know how to do 2 plus 2, 3 plus 3. They don't. It now hits me that truly culture can distort identity. That you will expect nothing more from yourself than just to give birth and to please your husband. Nothing more.